What is going on, friend? Sean Don coming back with a Monday afternoon technical analysis. Wow, I haven't seen one of these in a while. Not like you guys are watching this immediately as I upload it, but hey, I had a day off work, so I'm getting some extra work done. So, John Dahlin is back for a technical analysis. He got one done, I think, just a few weeks ago, if not sooner, but he's back. So I'm stoked to see how his throw looks after hopefully making some changes based on what I told him last time. So, if you yourself are watching this video and you're wondering, man, I wish my technique would be better, how do I get Sean Don to do a technical analysis on me? Go to my website, gripandrip.co, and sign up. In-depth technical analysis. If you want to be a real one, go sign up for some throws programming or a technical coaching package, and we can work together more consistently and help you drop some bombs this outdoor season, because now is the time to sign up. If you're watching this thinking, man, one day, maybe I'll sign up, you're wrong. You should do it now. Yeah, it just takes time to make progress and make changes. And if you want to see gains in May, you got to start working now. So if you're thinking about signing up, now is the time. gripandrip.co. All right, so let's get into it. Let's watch John's video. I just watched a few run-throughs, and we're going to watch all the way to the end, because this dude's got the intensity. Hell yeah, dude. Fire me up. Better, I love the yell. Okay, we don't need to watch the yell one more time. But the throw one more time. I like this angle a little bit better. It's a little closer. You can see what's going on a little bit better. But you also still see that left leg kind of killing some things going into the final turn. But it looks like your path through the circle's a little bit better. You're getting more down 180 a bit. Maybe cutting off 2 into 3 a little bit. But overall, like, if you look at orbit, it's pretty solid. It gets a little steep around your left. Like right there. It starts jumping up. It gets a little steep. But for the most part, I think you made some decent improvements. So let's actually break it down and see. Square at the back of the ring, ball between the legs, bring it back, and then sling start. All right, so hands up, bringing the ball across. Head still looking at 0, not a big deal. Maybe you tried it, maybe you didn't, but yeah, as you go through entry, this camera angle isn't perfect. 1, because of this fence frame here, and then 2, just a little off center. Like I'm kind of at like 15-30 degrees after 0, but like I said, it's closer, so you can see some things better maybe. It just kind of blocks the entry a little bit, but like looking at entry as you go through 0, you can still, you're leading with the head. You're settling back against the ball as it goes through 0 pretty well, and the left side looks relatively stable. I think you could still hold it a little bit more, so this left side a little bit more stable, let the ball get a little bit more ahead, because as you can see, you start to shift back just as the ball goes through 0. So maybe a little bit more stability, a little bit more freedom from the ball. Looking at your last video, I remember saying your right elbow is kind of coming down, and it's still kind of the same thing here, but it looks a little bit better. It looks like you're getting the ball out away from you a little bit more, getting a little bit more tension on it and all that stuff. So 3-0, a little shifting back, pretty flat though, arms out for the most part. Maybe a little tight. You could get the arms up and out a little bit more. Maybe think like internal rotation of the shoulders, kind of pushing your shoulder blades forwards, and get a little bit more relaxation in the arms. But for the most part, as you go through 0, it's pretty solid. Now you can start to see the effect of that right elbow being down a little bit. It looks like that right arm's a little bit tight to the body. And then as we go through 90, you can see that there's just like, it's really like kind of like tension in the lats almost. Arms, elbows just kind of tight towards the body a little bit. It's not terrible, but could be a little bit looser. Like in this position here, if your hands were up and out and your arms were relaxed and your shoulders are rounded forwards, you get a little bit more radius, more tension from the ball, where this looks just a little bit tight. As you go through 90 though, you do pop up a little bit. Right here you can see, same sort of thing. Left knee kind of straightening out a little bit, pop up. If you look at your hip height specifically, you can see you rise up in single support. And you see that left leg kind of straightens out, pushes back. And as you go into the catch, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell from this position, but you're catching nice and early. Maybe chest down, his chest is down a little bit, so you can get your hips underneath you more. Maybe get on that ball, that foot, push that right knee a little bit more forwards. And then as you go through this, after this first catch, this second turn, you can see you're getting back on it pretty well. You can see you settle back right there. That left heel grounds pretty early, pretty stable. You can see a little bit of, I really can't tell at all what your head is doing. I was going to say it looks like it's peeking open a little bit, but it's hard to tell exactly. It looks like you're holding it, I think. Yeah, if this is your chin right there, it looks like you're with it pretty well. Getting back against the ball well. Um, Once again, maybe just a tiny bit more stability here in this left side. Let the ball pass just a little bit more. But in terms of what the body's doing, like everything's turning pretty well. Your lower body's turning together pretty well. Your line of force, kind of right leg up through that left shoulder, is pretty solid. Just a little shorter on the left, and then you see it looks like you get a little lift right here. So you get like the ball to pop up a little bit. I think maybe that comes from the lower body. The right leg's doing the right thing, though. It's turning with it. The hips connected. It's pretty good. I still just wonder if that left leg is kind of extending on you a little bit, because you can see like through here, very subtle. That left knee's kind of pushing back. You're pulling back a little bit. The ball pops up a little bit. And then same sort of thing, left knee. Just looks a little stiff. You get forwards, kind of think about walking through the circle. So like knee forwards towards 180, dropping that knee towards 180. Just translating a little bit more forwards into the circle, because like I said, that left knee being pretty stiff still kind of kills things. Right knee could, also if that left knee dropped more, you could get this right foot up over that left calf a little bit more and be a little bit tidier with the single support movement, because like in terms of the speed itself, the movement's fine. Like you catch early enough if you look at this. I think you would just get a little bit more linear direction if you brought this knee up a little bit more, because it looks good up until here, and then it looks like you go to like kick that right foot forward, kind of like you're kicking a soccer ball to put it down instead of kind of coming up and over like an A skip. But you catch pretty solid, flat-footed still. Like I said, ball the foot on that right foot might do a lot of good for you. There's another Masters athlete where I told him, hey, maybe think about being on the ball of the foot, and things got a lot better for him, you know. But it is personal preference. I think, like I said, first turn heel catch is cool. After that, though, I think you should be on the ball of the foot, because I think it does kind of kill some things. But pretty solid. Same thing, though. Looks like chest is maybe a little bit down, or rather hips are just a little bit back away from it. And this comes from, I think, the right leg. If your hips are more forwards, your knee would have to go more forwards. You get more shin angle in this right leg. So maybe keep the hips under you a little bit more in the catch. Same thing, though, as you go through this double support, left heel grounds. You start to see more of this left side kind of leading. You see that left heel kind of closes down, and then from here, you can see you get back on the ball while also kind of pulling that left side back. So you're shortening that left side. The ball's a little bit too far behind you now. Ideally, at this point, you don't want the ball kind of square in between your legs, where this is just a little bit too much of that right side working up through the left shoulder. Now it's kind of pulling a little bit early, and you can see now kind of shorten, kind of turn inside of the ball, and you see that right arm kind of a little bit tighter towards your body. You see more of this left arm kind of coming across the body. And like you have the right idea, just need to get the ball a little bit more ahead. So as you go through double support, it's going to be the same sort of thing, where you start to see, because you are pulling a little bit early, you pull back, you shift back a little bit. That left leg's still pretty stiff, and this is where kind of this like wide cowboy right leg comes from, where like the right leg's moving with it pretty well here. You just got to get that leg up and over, pull that knee up, and think about maybe even leading with like the adductor a little bit, where, like I said, this looks like you're kind of like kicking a soccer ball, sort of, in a way, in a very weird way that makes sense in my brain. But shortening a little bit around the left, you can see you're kind of not rising up a ton through that left leg, but that left knee is very stiff. Like I said, you're kind of just rotating on it, not really getting any bend direction towards 180. Very stiff. So then you get this kind of right side kind of clamping down, and you actually pop off the ground a little bit here. You can see that left foot kind of comes off the ground right there. So that's just a sign of impatience and disconnection. You can see that right arm gets a little tight in single support as you catch, coming down on the heel. The left foot's off the ground at this point. So like if you count your catch when both feet are on the ground, you don't technically catch until about here, which isn't super bad. You're not catching it super late. But ideally, you'd like to see the catches grow towards the sector in terms of in each turn as the throw goes on. And that is just because, like I said, if you go back here, you're just rushing a little bit, pulling back a little bit too soon, a little tight with the body. Tension in the left side means this left foot's probably going to come off the ground like it does there. Catch, and your body really finally doesn't really settle down until about here. After that, your body, or before that, your body's just kind of like, what's going on? And then with that lack of tension in the catch, because you do come off the ground, you do end up pulling. As you can see, same sort of thing. Ball's getting a little steep on you. It's getting a little low. Not a big deal in the final turn, and it's a lighter weight for the master, so it's not a huge issue. You're strong enough to get it out, but that left side, left shoulder pulls up, tightens. You can see you're trying to like work up through it. And now, even after landing on your heel, you do get up onto the ball of the foot, but you're just kind of pulling back too soon, finishing a little too soon. And this is one of the rare cases where like pulling too much in the finish can result in two issues, and that is either throwing outside of the left sector or throwing down the right sector, because you're trying to put force into the ball before it's ready to handle that force. Very woo-woo sort of idea, but you're just pulling soon, and the tension grows too much, and you end up pulling off of it instead of like properly transferring all of that force that you've created through your body into the ball. Just because you're kind of pulling that left and trying to finish a little bit too hard. But it's not bad. Like you do, once again, just like in the last video, you're working your hips up into it, you're extending out into and throwing the ball out into the sector. It's just like you pull off a little bit too soon because you catch and pull that left side instead of totally like finishing and working the ball all the way through and swinging it all the way around out to work towards 180. But pretty solid. Decent adjustments. I still think that left leg is kind of killing some things for you. Better left knee drop to 180, and then tighter right foot kind of up over that calf. They kind of go hand in hand. You're not going to be able to get that right foot up over that left calf if that left knee never drops, never bends. And then that'll just clean up a lot of stuff. You find better direction. And then the other big thing I need you to work on is just patience. Like I said, you know how to work the ball. You know how to use your body. It's just a matter of using it more efficiently. Because going into this third turn, like I said, that right leg comes pretty wide. That left leg looks pretty stiff. There's a side view would be really interesting to see, because I think if we looked at the side view, you'd see that the left knee really never really travels forward as the ball goes forward towards the sector. So, yeah, and then you just kind of salvage this final catch, and you're strong enough to kind of work out of it. So, but that being said, I love the intensity. Yeah, pretty solid. So, let me know if you have any questions, John. Happy to help. If you want another technical analysis in another few weeks, hit me up, man. I'm here to help. And then if anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, then go to my website, gripandrip.co. Sign up for one. Get some coaching, whatever it is, dude. Sign up. Now's the time to do it. I can't say this enough. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.